things that I've already answered or that have already been answered a lot, I tend to skip past them, don't take that personally. Now, people are asking about Larry King. Are you still in contact with Larry King?
No, I haven't been in contact with him for many, many years. I just had an interview with him a long time ago, at least 35, 40 years ago. But I haven't had any contact with him, no. I'd like to be able to present these ideas on our major television stations. We don't want to kill anybody or hurt anybody or shoot anybody or arrest anybody. There'd be no prisons, no police in the future. If people are educated, not the way they are today, educated in the new schools where children are taken through industry, show them how things are produced. They're taken through into the forest and show them how we depend on the oxygen of the trees, how nature works, and teach them how to live, how to find meaning in their own life, not how to beat the other guy, how to gain all you can get out of this world. Me for myself, if you get that, there's no progress.
They're actually saying, how would you get Saudi Arabia or North Korea to join? And it seems to me that Saudi Arabia is more receptive to the idea already, aren't they? Is that?
No, the way you get nations that think differently to join together is not to criticize them or their habits. What you have to do is talk about the things we have in common. All people need clean air, clean water, arable land, a relevant education, and economic security. If you meet those needs, there'll be no basis for war at all. War is not to bring democracy to other countries. It's to exploit their resources, their oil, their cheap labor, or whatever we can take away from them.
Has Jacque heard of the Axis of Justice and seen the work of Tom Morello and Serge Tankian? I'm not familiar either.
I don't know what justice means. All I know is that most people are looking for it, and they'll spend their life looking for it. There's no such thing as justice. Whatever happens out there in the world is real. What you think should have happened is not real. That's what hurts you. Your own inability to understand how society works.
Okay. Skade, anyone ask about the Bill Maher, I never say his name right, Maher possibility? Yeah, Bill Maher. Has anybody talked about you guys getting on there?
That's not up to us. If you write to Bill Maher and tell him you'd like to hear the Venus Project, if you do that, you're more apt to get us on the air. If you write to CNN, say I'm sick and tired of hearing politicians and military people on the major broadcast, how about outside point of view? How about other citizens, sociologists, social scientists that have different ideas other than war? You don't get that on the air. So I would say it appears to me that most news is managed. That is, what you hear is what they want you to hear, not the truth. They don't even know what the truth means.
People are asking, why are you so against the space program? I think if we build a colony on Mars, it would be easier to do the Venus Project.
I'm against the space program today because if any single nation gets out there and controls outer space, there will be nuclear weapons traveling around. And all they have to do is do away with Air Force and drop those weapons. We are not sane enough yet to use our intelligence, or what could be intelligence, in a relevant way. I don't people today are not smart enough to use technology for the benefit of human beings. This has been demonstrated time and time again when mothers are ready to offer their children as sacrificial lambs to war. Mothers themselves don't know there are other approaches to the same problem. You don't have to kill people. You don't have to lose your sons and daughters in war. And most war is very big business. There's a lot of money in war. Mothers, think about this. When they conscript the lives of your son to serve, put up their life for this country, they should conscript all the war industries, so there's profits to none, so that they get the same basis of pay as the soldiers do. But if people make money selling battleships and airplanes for $1 million apiece, war is one of the biggest businesses that's maintained the largest corporations. So war is always corrupt unless you have total conscription of all the war industries. So no one makes a buck out of war, then it's real.
How do we clean the oceans and soils of plastic? There's already a 6-to-1 plastic to plankton. Some of it's 1 million years indestructible or more. Pieces get smaller mechanically but cannot be chemically assimilated by nature. Just how do we clean up the plastic, I guess?
Well, once you get rid of the money system, you don't have to worry about the cost. You have the Gulf Stream, the Japanese current, the Icelandic current. You harness those currents with turbines under the water, and those currents are always moving, and they can generate all kinds of electricity. And with electricity, we can precipitate and change things. We can migrate fish. We can migrate them to whatever area we want them to go to through electronic controls. In other words, there are many new systems where people will no longer ask, how much will it cost to do that? Do we have the resources to do that? Yes, we do. We have more than enough resources, and we have more than enough technologists that are capable of establishing those systems.
Should we provide educational tools for youngsters, like a web page that gives alternative supplemental education about how we are all one family biologically and about getting a larger perspective on life and society?
That would be bad for the war industry. Be bad for business. It's a lousy system in this system. No, the world has to eventually become one. We're all the same. If you took a nice Jewish boy and raised him in Nazi Germany as a baby, he'd be a Nazi. If you took the son of a Nazi and raised him in Israel, it'd be a nice Jewish boy. It's the environment that shapes your values and your culture. All environments today are highly lacking. That's why you have so many problems. They don't even know what the problems are. They think it's human nature. They think that some people are good and some are bad. This is a lie. They're shaped that way by lack of love, insufficiency, social insufficiency, or lack of salary, meaning low minimum wage. And minimum wage, you have to buy a used car, and the used car breaks down, new car. So always knock to be like under that kind of torment. So we live in a very undeveloped culture, and it's in the process right now of falling apart. You don't have to shove it anymore. It'll do its own falling. It's happening all over the world. And now people will listen to new ideas. Once a person is working, paying off a house, having a car, 2 children to support, saving up to send them to college, they don't think about other things. They're too busy. And if they have Saturday off, they have to go shopping or take the laundry in. On Sunday, they go to church. That keeps them from thinking about anything. So you see, you have a system worked out to keep you insufficient.
What do you think the next steps of the Zeitgeist movement should be? What do we do as individuals?
Well, if you do nothing, if you don't talk about the Venus Project to other people, they won't know it exists. So the best you can do is become better informed as to the direction of the Venus Project. And you can get that on the internet. You can get that by looking up thevenusproject.com. You get all kinds of answers, all kinds of questions. And you'll find out more about the world that you live in detail if you look into what it is that we advocate. A lot of people believe that it's something like communism. You know, what's communists want? Communism has armies, navies, money, banks, political systems. They have prisons, police. They have all the things we have. This has nothing in common with communism, socialism, free enterprise, or fascism.